Round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Michelle. Always a pleasure to hear you MC the chairman of the FRC's board, my friend Mr. Malakai Nyanga, FRC's board of directors, CEO, FRC's Gold Card and AU members, invited guests, media team, friends, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I'd like to apologize for coming early. I attended my first function as the Minister of Finance and Deputy Prime Minister in Nandi, and the letter said very clearly that the program will start at 7. So I ended up there at 7, and half the people were not there. And the organizers told me, "Sir, we were expecting you to come an hour late." So they were not ready. So occasionally I try and go late. But pleasure to be here. Bula Vinaka to all of you. And it's my pleasure this evening to be part of this very important occasion. And that is to celebrate the renewal of the Gold Card and Authorized Economic Operator memberships. And tonight, as the CEO said, and I know when they write speeches, they want to say something and they also want the chief guest to repeat that again. So I will do that as well. We gather to honor businesses that have not only met, but exceeded their obligations by adhering to tax and customs regulations. And as part of its strategic commitment to excellence in client service and collaboration with stakeholders, FRCS has created segmented customer groups. These groups are designed to provide tailored services, recognizing those who demonstrate a strong commitment to compliance and contribution to the nation's revenue. The FRCS Gold Card program was launched several years ago, in 2012, to provide priority and privileged services to companies that consistently meet tax compliance requirements. In 2018, the FRCS further advanced its commitment to business excellence by establishing the Fiji Authorized Economic Operator Framework. As of now, 7 gold companies have been accredited as AEOs. These companies are recognized as trusted traders, demonstrating exceptional compliance, sound financial management, strong internal controls, and robust supply chain security. I thought, CEO, you said currently we have 77, I have 78 Gold Card members of FRCS. In between, you reduced it by 1. The Gold Card and AEO programs are more than just a recognition. They are part of a larger vision to celebrate and reward businesses that have contributed their fair share to the nation's growth. As all of you are well aware, paying taxes is not only a civic duty, but an essential pillar of our nation's progress. Taxes fund public services, everything from education, healthcare, social welfare, to infrastructure such as roads, ports, clean water systems, and they also support local government services, including law enforcement, fire departments, and public works. So without taxes, our government cannot function or provide the vital services that we are all relying on. Therefore, taxes are at the heart of national development and governance. And I'm also pleased to join the CEO to share that the 78, or should I go down and say 77 gold card members of FRCS contributed 57% of the total revenue collected in 2024, a sum amounting to 1.7 billion, and that's quite a significant portion. While the vast majority of our taxpayers are honest, and this is what I always say, that majority of our people are honest, and they pay their taxes on time, but unfortunately we always have cases of tax evasion in every economy, in every country. And we all know that evading taxes is not only an unfair act towards fellow citizens, it's a violation of the trust placed in the system. And I know that the FRCS is strengthening its compliance efforts, and we are happy that they are doing it in collaboration with all of you and with the private sector. And I want to use this opportunity to thank all Gold Card and AEO members. I think your commitment to compliance and your fair share of tax contributions directly enable the government to provide essential services like free healthcare, free education, and vital social welfare programs, amongst others. I think it is important for us as ministers, as politicians, to encourage all Fijians and all of you, because I've always said that a lot of wisdom and knowledge and experience resides in the private sector. Governments always rely on that experience, on that wisdom, on that knowledge, and on that honesty from the private sector to support not only government fund its activities appropriately, but also help in formulating policies. And we are very pleased as a government that we are doing that. We have set up a number of committees, whether it's a committee on immigration, whether it's a committee on growth task force, whether it's through various board membership, that we value and rely on the private sector, their wisdom and experience for good policy making. And therefore it is particularly delightful to see that the Gold Card membership is not limited to only large corporations and multinationals. We also see small companies, sole traders, and individuals who are committed to paying their taxes honestly. And this reflects the inclusive nature of the Gold Card and the AEO programs, showing that every business, regardless of size, can play a role in our nation's success. And indeed, the statistics is very clear around the world that small and medium enterprises contribute significantly to employment growth, but also in terms of tax collections. Friends, ladies and gentlemen, just a quick remark on the economy. Fiji's macroeconomic fundamentals have strengthened over the last 2 years. Our post-pandemic economic recovery has been very impressive. primarily driven by strong rebound in the tourism sector, which has positively impacted other sectors. There's been a huge multiplier effect of that. The financial system remains sound, backed by strong balance sheets of commercial banks and other financial institutions. Declining non-performing loans, higher credit growth, and historically low interest rate amidst high liquidity levels. And we have resisted advice from international institutions such as the IMF to raise interest rate, and I think the Reserve Bank in that respect, and as an economy, we've done the right thing. We've seen a notable rebound in aggregate demand, particularly in the last 1 year, contrary to some commentators recently. And particularly consumption spending, which is being supported by strong labor market recovery, higher remittance inflows, and increased household incomes owing to recent increases in wages for both the private sector and the civil servants. Investment activity has gained traction as evidenced by 24.1% growth in new investment lending by commercial banks in 2024, as well as a pickup in construction activity driven by both private, mostly tourism projects, and public sector infrastructure projects announced in the 2024-2025 national budget. The economic momentum is reflected in our strong tax collections, and you are part of those contributors. As we have exceeded our projections in the first 6 months of 2024-2025. From August 2024 to January 2025, we have collected around 1.8 billion in taxes, which is 136.4 million higher than the forecast for the period and accounts for around 55% of the total budgeted tax revenues for the fiscal year. So friends, ladies and gentlemen, in light of these developments, the domestic economy is projected to grow by 3.4% this year, following an estimated growth of 3.8%, which we revised from 2.8% to 3.8% last year. And once again, we are kind of expecting a broad-based growth, which will be propelled by the tourism sector, along with growth in other sectors, particularly transport, accommodation, wholesale and retail, public administration, finance and insurance sectors. Friends, the coalition government is committed to fostering private sector growth across all sectors. And as I said, private sector is the key to driving growth in our economy. And we are working very hard to create a business-friendly environment by reducing regulatory and policy obstacles to investment. We want businesses to grow and thrive, and we encourage you all to take advantage of the government's initiative to help boost investment and contribute towards Fiji's economic growth. I also want to make this point, and Mark is looking at me quite attentively. The current employment bill that is under discussion, it is a draft bill. It is under consultation. And as a government, we are listening to the discussions, the submissions. I met the Employers Federation also. And as a government, we are committed to ensuring that whatever final legislation we come up with, it is a legislation that all of us can live with. Government, private sector, and the unions. And so I want to assure you that there should be no panic. There should be no alarm bells. And there should not be mischief making about some of the impact that supposedly could come out from elements of the draft bill. As I said, it's a draft bill. It is under consultation. And as a government, our job would be to ensure that the final form of the law is based on the circumstances and the need for our country and our economy. So I want to finally commend the FRCS for your continuous efforts to improve voluntary tax and customs compliance in Fiji. These initiatives are essential in ensuring that Fiji remains on a path of sustainable growth and development. And to all of you, businesses, banks, and all the stakeholders here tonight, I encourage you to join the FRCS Gold Card and AEO programs. And by doing so, you are not only gaining access to premium services, but also contributing directly to the economic growth and prosperity of Fiji. Thank you, and please enjoy the evening. Nakavakelevu, Dhanyawad, and Shukriya.
The Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, Honourable Professor Biman Prasad, the Chair of FRCS, Mr. Malakanyanga, FRCS Gold Card and AEO members, FRCS board members, members of the media, FRCS executive leaders and colleagues. Mulabinaka, and a very good evening to you all. A warm welcome and sincere thanks to the Deputy Prime Minister, Honourable Professor Biman Prasad, for joining us this evening, and I also extend my gratitude to all of our distinguished guests tonight. The Gold Card service was launched in 2012 to reward tax and customs compliant companies with priority services. Starting with 34 members, our numbers have grown, and today we stand at 77. While some members were removed for non-compliance, we remain committed to upholding high standards. Gold Card members contribute 57% of FRCS revenues, with collections rising from 882 million in 2021 to 1.67 billion in 2024. Gold Card members receive a range of benefits, including priority tax and customs services, expedited clearances, duty-free allowances, and priority processing at various government agencies. We have partnered with Fiji Immigration Department, Airports Fiji Limited, Biosecurity Authority, LTA and Fiji Airways to enhance these privileges. In 2018, FRCS introduced the Authorised Economic Operator Program, accrediting 23 members, some of whom are also Gold Card holders. AEO benefits include removal of bond and bank guarantees, deferred payment options, and waiver of outdoor inspection fees. Both Gold Card and AEO members enjoy priority services across multiple government agencies. This program recognises and rewards businesses that fulfil their civic duty, ensuring tax contributions support public services, infrastructure, education, and economic growth. Looking ahead, we are enhancing our services for Gold Card and AEO members. Membership terms have now increased from 2 to 3 years. We are also working closely with our partner agencies to strengthen service delivery and develop a taxpayer analysis framework for more targeted support. FRCS aims to increase Gold Card revenue contributions from 57 to 70% in the coming years. I encourage Gold Card members who have not yet joined the AEO program to do so and enjoy the additional privileges. On behalf of FRCS, I thank you for your trust and compliance. We are proud to support you all and will continue working to enhance your experience as Gold Card and AEO members. With that, I wish you all the very best for the rest of the presentations this evening, where we'll honour and celebrate our collective achievements. Thank you and vinaka pakalivu.